Once I heard the getaway driver tell her that if she does not come out of the bank, they was basically going to unalive me, at that point, I had just accepted my fate because I thought to myself, there is no way she's going to go in here around all of these people and be safe and risk coming back for me when, they saying that they're going to let us go. All they want is the money. But come on, be real. A lot of the situations, as soon as they get what they want, it's over. Y'all know how that go. So yes, at that moment, I was very emotional. The guy that had me laid over and pushed down, he was just, for whatever reason, consoling me, but only for me to hear. He kept telling me, like, look, I'm not going to let anything happen to you. It's okay. Just be quiet. Like, I got you. Meanwhile, the driver and the other two guys, they meant business. They were already upset because I guess they didn't find any money in the house. They were already upset because they had to not only go in the bank, but I guess, still spend time with us, still be there with us. They were already just at that point where one thing go wrong, and they was already just ready to end it all for real. Even though I had thought about my options, like, you know what, I could probably just try to fight for my life, even though it's 4 guys against 1. Or I could just, accept my fate and just let them do whatever to me. I was just so conflicted in that moment. I was still in shock, still trying to process everything. So I'm in my head, y'all. 1,000 things going through my head. I'm just like, oh my God, how, if they do something to me, how is everyone going to find out? Please take it easy on my mom. Like, all I was thinking about was my family. Y'all know I'm very family oriented. I love my family. I was thinking about my friends. Like, this is just not the way that I wanted to go. So a million things running through my mind. And before I knew it, we was already pulling up to the bank because, like, I felt the vehicle stop. Now, mind you, back at the house, they made us take our shoes off for some reason. So the guy was like, I'm about to go back here and get you these slides. Put these slides on. Go in this bank. Get this money. Come out. And we're going to let you and your friend go. That's what he said. And before she could even get out, I was trying to plead my case. I'm not going to lie. I was letting them know, like, look, I'm just her friend. She don't really care about me. You know what I'm saying? We haven't really been friends for a long time. If something happened to me, she's going to be good. Like, why are y'all using me as collateral? That's not fair. The driver was not trying to hear. He's like, look, I'm sick of this. All she got to do is go in there and get the money. I'm tired of this. I don't want to hear you say anything. I don't want to hear her say anything. He was beating on the steering wheel. He was very highly irritated, and I still don't know why. So she's getting out, like, I feel her trying to grab my hand. She's like, don't worry, I got you. But y'all, I'm telling you, like, I felt it all over my body. I'm like, bro, this girl is not going to go out. So she closed the door and they walk off into the bank. It was her and 2 other guys. So now all that's left is the driver and the guy that was consoling me the whole time. I felt like we was out there in the car waiting for like an hour. Even the driver was like, it's taking too long. Something's going wrong. Like, I guess they was trying to contact the guys inside the bank. Y'all, they would not answer their phones. And he was just getting so upset. So I asked again. I said, hey, can I just please call my mom? I just want to tell her that I love her one more time. Y'all, the driver turned around, took the boom and started pressing it up against my head. Like, I told you not to say nothing else. I don't care about your mom. I don't care about you. Stop talking this, and that. So the guy that was consoling me, he was like, hey, bro, chill. Like, come on. She's scared. You already know how that go. Like, she just asked to call her mom. We don't have to let her talk to her mom, but come on, like, put the boom away. So then the driver and that guy start to go back and forth. The driver's telling the guy, like, you soft. You always been soft. I don't want to hear that. You listen to me. I run this. I'm the only way you're going to get paid. Don't tell me how to run my show. This, that. The guy that was consoling me, he's just like, bro, you just doing too much. Like, chill. She's still a young girl at the end of the day. Like, if it was you, this, and that, y'all, they going back and forth. And I'm just still laying there, still tied up, still blindfolded, not knowing what's going on. This is just a mess. They continue to go back and forth for quite some time until the driver like, you know what? You keep taking up for her and I'm going to bury you right next to her. So I'm thinking like, dang, bury me for what? I thought, you know what I'm saying? Once we get the money, once we get y'all the money that y'all's going to let us go, this, and that. So he started yelling. I'm yelling. The guy consoling me is yelling. It's just way too much going on. So then the phone started ringing. It's one of the guys from inside the bank. And so he has it on speakerphone. The driver's like, yeah, what's up? He like, nah, she already alerted somebody. Like, we got to go. We got to get out of here. Like, come get us from the front and we just got to go. Y'all, once I heard that, my heart literally dropped because, dang, she really left me. She really didn't come back. She chose to save herself and say, F me, even though this has nothing to do with me. The guys from the bank, you can hear them, like, literally running, jumping, getting in a car. And the car just irk off. I mean, just like they are driving fast. And one last thought in my mind is like, hopefully they get pulled over by the police or something because they are going so fast. Even one of the guys that was in the bank was like, hey, bro, slow down. Like, you driving too fast. Like, chill. The driver is livid. He telling everybody to shut the F up. Nobody talk to him. They can't do nothing right. That he should have went in with her and this and that. Like, he is going off on everybody. He is so mad. He's so upset. He like, man, I should blank all of y'all right here, right now. Y'all get on my nerves. Y'all can't do nothing right. Everybody just need to shut the F up. I couldn't do nothing but pray. I just could not stop praying. Like, I had been praying. I had been calling on God. I just been saying, like, Lord, have mercy. Lord, please have mercy. Lord, please have mercy. Not like this. Not right now. Those the only things that I could really think of. So, yeah, I'm just praying inside my head. I'm quiet. All the guys are arguing about what should have been done, what could have been done, who's not carrying their weight, whose fault it is, stuff like that. And then one of the guys finally say, okay, so what we going to do about the girl? And the driver is finally like, you know what? We're going to teach old girl a lesson. We told her what was going to happen if she didn't come out that bank with that money. So, I mean, she left me no choice. And then he's like, you know what? we're going to call the guy that was consoling me, Joe. He's like, I'm going to get Joe to do it. Since Joe want to take up for her, since Joe want to be all soft and stuff, I'm going to give him the honors of booming her. And y'all, as soon as he said that, Joe immediately was like, what? That's crazy. That's stupid. Why would we even do all of that? Why would we even put blood on our hands when we don't have the money? That's not how we're going to get the money. Like, we need to be thinking of an escape plan. Let's just drop this girl off. Like, let's just throw her out or whatever, and we can go ahead about our business. Y'all, the driver was not feeling that idea whatsoever. He's telling Joe, like, look, I run this. And if you don't like how I run my show, then you can be next. I don't care. You got your feelings involved. I already told you about this. I didn't even want to take you on this trip with us. I had already told them, like, to leave you out, but you needed money. You down bad. Joe started arguing back, like, you too high-headed. You're the reason why we're in this predicament in the first place. You're the only reason why we don't got no money. You don't know how to talk to people. You don't know how to deal with people. And I'm not going to lie, y'all. Joe was right. The driver, he was just too far gone. It's just like, bro, calm down. How can you even think being that mad? He was livid. They continue to argue. The driver is still speeding or whatever, but we come to, I guess, like a stoplight or whatever. Next thing you know, all of them got quiet. So I'm just kind of like, what's going on? So one of the guys asked the driver, like, look, you see the police behind us. Are you sure, like, everything good with the tags and stuff? I'm not trying to get pulled over and, you know what I'm saying, get hit with all this unnecessary stuff. So I'm not going to lie, y'all. The minute that I heard the police was behind us, my first instinct was to just, like, get up and, like, make a scene, like, try to get out the car, like, do anything to get the police officer attention. So the minute I even tried to raise up, Joe instantly, like, put both of his hands and pushed my head down even more. And he whispered in my ear, like, if you do this, he going to really boom you. Like, I can't save you after that. Like, just chill. It's okay. Like, he not scared of the police. Like, he willing to, like, you know what I'm saying? He at the point where he don't even care what go on. Like, so Joe was telling me, don't move. It's okay. I got you. He kept telling me, like, I got you. I got you. I got you. But at this point, I'm thinking inside my head, like, obviously the driver is the one that runs the show. He's telling all of y'all what to do. I'm not sure how much pull or how much Joe could even help me, because at this point, the driver has already had his mind made up. And from my understanding, we was driving somewhere where nobody else would be, where it would just be them, just so that they could boom me. So on top of Joe holding me down, the other guy that was in the bank, he like put his elbow in my ribs, like making sure I didn't move. And it was so painful. I even was just like, you know, whatever. And Joe's like, bro, chill. Like, she not going to move. Y'all doing too much. Like, that's why I hate running missions with y'all, because y'all be doing too much. Everybody just need to relax. Y'all not going to lie. I felt like Joe was the only person that had like some common sense. He was the only person that really had a heart. The rest of those guys were so ruthless, so angry, so hot tempered. It was crazy. So finally, the driver says, hey, Joe, get this from my hand. Like, put her to sleep right quick. So I'm like, oh, nah, just if it's going to happen like this, I'm not going to lie, y'all. I would rather for it just to be quick and easy. Please don't make me suffer. Please don't torture me. If y'all going to do it, just go ahead and do it. I'm not trying to get put to sleep and y'all do all this other sick stuff to me. Like, let's just go ahead and get it over with, right? So Joe grabbed a pill from him or whatever, and he rubs it up against my mouth, and he leans down and he's like, just fake sleep. So that's exactly what I did. He did not give me the pill. I was alert the whole time. I could still hear them arguing about what was going to happen, who was going to do it, what they should do with me, all this other stuff, y'all. Joe was really coming through. I'm not going to lie. At one point, the driver was even talking about how he thought that I was really pretty and how he felt like he wanted to do some things with me before, they did what they had to do and all of that. And not only Joe, but the other two guys was like, bro, nah, like, you going too far. Like, if that's the case, then, we can go back on the strip. It's some girls, you know what I'm saying, some night walkers, some street walkers, whatever. They willing to do that for little to none. Like, we're not going to be doing all that. Like, now, like, you out of hand. So they started to take a stand against the driver because he just started being out of control with it. So once again, they start to argue, and y'all, this time it was bad. I felt like they was even louder. They was getting more aggressive. They started punching things. The guy was trying to tell the driver, like, look, I don't know what you think this is, the movies or whatever, but you do something with that girl, your DNA gonna be all over her. So say if they do find her, whatever the case, you still gonna go to jail. Like, you not thinking straight, like you moving sloppy, this and that. And the whole time while they was arguing, Joe just kept whispering to me like, it's gonna be all right, like I'm not gonna let them do nothing to you, like just relax, keep faking sleep. Like, so the whole time while they are loud, not really paying attention to Joe, he keeps bending over. Like, I don't know if they thought he was maybe tying his shoe or reaching for his phone or whatever, but he kept reassuring me the whole time that nothing was gonna happen to me. And as much as I wanted to believe him, y'all, that driver was so scary. It's just like at that point, he's like, well, if y'all can't do y'all job, then I'm going to be the one to do it. Don't worry about it. Y'all too soft. I'm going to show y'all how to get stuff done, like this, and that. And I'm just like, dang, he is really adamant about taking me out. All right, before we go any further, it's time to see who locked in, who really paying attention. So if you made it this far and you're really paying attention, I want to know, what food do y'all think is overhyped but so many people like? I'll go first. Chitlins. No way, no how. I hate the smell. I hate the look of it. I hate the texture. I don't understand why people would even digest chitlins. But that's mine. I want to know what y'all think, whether it be chicken, whether it be Kool-Aid, whether it be a certain type of candy. I want to know what food y'all think everybody else likes and overhypes, but you just think it's just like, you know what? Yeah, nah. Okay, so boom. Back to the story. So at this point, y'all, no lie, they had been driving for like 2 hours. The whole time, everybody's arguing. Nobody's agreeing. Next thing you know, I hear the vehicle pull over. I hear it cut off. And he said, all right, everybody get the F out. Leave the girl in there. So at this point, they get out the car and they still continue to argue. Some of them are saying like, hey, let's just leave her here where she at. The driver, really at this point, the driver is the only person adamant about unaliving me. He's like, if I don't make an example out of her, everybody else gonna continue to play with me. The other guy's like, nobody even knows, like, we going too far, we didn't get any money, it's getting late, we could have been back in the city at this point making money or whatever, like we in a whole nother state. And when I heard that, I feel like my heart dropped too, because I'm just like, dang, they literally drove 2 hours outside of the state what I was in, and we're in a whole different state. We was right there by the state line, and I'm just like, oh my God, like this is just going too far. They continue to argue. Then the driver says, all right, cool. What we're going to do, we're going to strip her. We're going to take all her clothes off. And we're going to leave her tied up and blindfold. The guy's like, bro, no, like, what are you on? We not doing that. Let's just leave her right here where she at. Ain't no phones out here. Maybe somebody can, you know what I'm saying, come by and pick her up. We just going to threaten her. Like, we know what she look like. Y'all, they said they know where I work at. They had been following me. They know this. They knew so many things about me. And I wasn't even paying attention, which really made me change my whole lifestyle, because it's like, dang, I was really out here just living. I was posting everything. My location, the inside of my home. I would post like workflow, like whatever I clocked in at. Y'all, they was sitting there telling me every single detail. Like, it's like they studied me like a book. The guy was like, oh yeah, we know where you like to eat out at. We know specific days, like when you go to this club or whatever. Like, they knew every single thing. And he's like, look, even though I haven't seen their faces, he like, even if you shall just, you know, maybe want to, you know, rat on us or whatever like that, like, we coming and we going to finish the job. So, boom, one of the guys that was in the bank, he's like, look, what's about to happen is we about to roll you out this car. You on the side of the highway. We in the middle of nowhere. You in a whole different state. He like, don't mention us. Wait until we leave to try to get out of the blindfold and the, you know, they had me tied up with strings. He's like, if we catch you peeking, we're going to come back and we're going to blow your head off, basically. At that point, y'all, Joe was still like, come on, y'all, don't do this. It's dark out here. There ain't no lights. Like, an animal could come eat her. And the driver was like, Joe, shut up. I don't want to hear nothing else, because I could have boomed her. Like, I could have took her life. But I'm just leaving it here. And she better not say nothing about this. She better not go report it to the police. She better not whatever, because I'm going to come back and you know I'm going to finish the job. He's like, you know, I already got a whole lot of bodies. I don't even care. You too soft, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So y'all still tied up or whatever. Joe, I don't know if they knew it or not, but he like loosened it up to the point where all I had to do was basically do my hands like this and I would break free or whatever. He's like, look, we'll just wait, just count to like 60 and wait till we leave. And, you know, and like somebody gonna come by, like, you know, you look decent or whatever. So they gonna help you. It's gonna be okay. Like, cause at this point, I don't know. I didn't really know if they was gonna really still keep their word or if they was just, you know, maybe trying to calm me down. Cause at this point I was losing it. So boom, Joe picked me up, laid me, and I felt him laying me on the concrete or whatever, like it was gravel all around, and I didn't even have any socks on. He took his socks off and put his socks on my feet, and I'm just like, wow, that is so crazy to me. And I could hear them leaving, and I could see, like, you know, it's like at first I could see like light, but after that it was pitch black dark. So the minute that I knew that I couldn't see them anymore and that they were long gone, I instantly undid my hands, took the blindfold off, and y'all, I sat there Indian style, just literally crying, thanking God, because you couldn't tell. I'm like, yeah, it's over for me. Like, this is the way I was going to go. I was inconsolable, y'all. I could not help myself. Like, I literally had to calm myself down because I felt like, I don't know, I was going to make myself sick, y'all. I was just so thankful, so grateful. Next thing you know, finally, I see like a truck approaching. And as the truck getting closer, I see it's a Confederate flag. And there's this white guy, and he's kind of looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, you know what? Dang, this is crazy, because even though those guys didn't do anything to me, maybe this white guy going to take me out, because it was very clear by the Confederate flags and by the stuff on the truck that he was racist. So I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. So I'm like, this is crazy. The minute I'm trying to calm myself down, here comes somebody, and I'm excited because I'm like, okay, I'm just going to flag them down, tell them to please, hopefully they're going that way, give me a ride back to the city. I'm able to call my mom, this, and that. Y'all, all I seen was Confederate flags and all type of racial slurs and all this other stuff. And so he gets out and he's walking towards me. So I get up and I stand on my own 2 feet. He's like, I don't know what a little girl like you is doing out here this late at night, but jump in the truck. I'm headed towards the city and I'll give you a ride. So I instantly just kind of take a quick glance towards the truck, like, are you sure? He's like, oh, don't worry about that. That's my son's truck. You know, somebody took his life a couple of months ago, and I'm just basically picking up his truck because it's the only thing that he has left to remind me of him. He's like, I'm not like that. I didn't want him to be like that. Like, don't worry, you're safe with me, this, and that, y'all. And I broke down, and I flew into the man's arms, and it's kind of like we was crying together. I don't know. I think maybe he was still grieving his son, but I'm just like, dang. I let out a good cry. He's like patting me on my back like, it's going to be okay. Don't worry. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. You don't have to tell me what happened. Like, is there anybody that you can call? He's giving me his phone. The first person I call is my mom. My mom is just frantic. Everything is just so crazy, y'all. It was crazy. The whole ride back, the guy's telling me, like, look, whatever you was going through, it's going to be okay. He's like, can I pray for you? He started telling me about his son and how he did his best to raise his son. But basically, his son got caught up with the wrong people and, caused, him to end up somebody taking his life, gun violence and stuff like that. And I'm just like, this is nobody but God. God sent this man straight to me. Anybody could have picked me up on side this road, had their way with me, did whatever with me. And God sent this. He was an angel, really. And like, yeah, I was thrown off by the Confederate flags, but he's like, I'm not like that. I love everybody. I treat everybody the same. And I raised my son off those same values. But, once they grown, you can't really have a hold on them like you used to, when they was young. And I completely understood that. I told the guy that actually I was kind of scared to go back home because I remember I was telling y'all the guys knew everything about me, where I live, where I work. So he's actually like, you know what? Look, I have a good friend that runs a local hotel close to the city. I'll put you in a room for 2 nights until you can figure something out. If you need anything, don't hesitate to call my phone, y'all. He was so helpful. He was so nice. He was so kind. To this day, I sometimes think about, like, I wonder what he's doing. Like, I hope he's okay, even if he's still alive or whatever the case, because this happened years ago. But he was literally an angel in disguise. Immediately, my family was making sure I was okay. I called my apartments, let them know what happened. They broke my lease, no problem. I quit that job. I actually left the whole state. I was just like, you know what? Nah, this not for me. That just ran me away. That rubbed me the wrong way. Now, legally, I can't really say, the rest that happened, because I know y'all gonna be like, oh, well, what happened to the guys? What happened to the girl? Just know, y'all, all is well. Justice was served, and I felt like everybody got what they deserved. And I'm no longer in a space where I feel like scared or have to watch my back. Like, I felt like once that happened, I didn't want to come out the house. I didn't want to do anything. I was so scared. But slowly but surely, I felt like I started to gain my power back. Definitely learned a lot of lessons with the whole situation, as far as like my surroundings, as far as like once I get that first feeling of a red flag, like I'm not kicking it, I'm not hanging out, whatever like that, definitely made me just be aware, like safety wise, like it just taught me like so much, for real. It's kind of crazy to think, like, I really used to just go and live my life and not really pay attention or not really know my surroundings or not really like know my area and stuff like that. Y'all, that right there made me be on my P's and Q's ever since that day. Like, I noticed everything. I'm alert, especially since I stopped drinking. I just felt like I'm always sensing stuff. I'm just like, you know what? Nah, that's not my energy. Like, we not finna do that. I'm just grateful, y'all. I really am. That situation could have went so many different ways. I'm so thankful the way that things played out. I wish I would have never been in that situation. But, we can't control what happens to us. All we can do is control how we respond to it. And I'm just grateful. I really hope y'all enjoyed the story time. I appreciate y'all for staying here with me, for comforting me. A lot of y'all send a lot of words of encouragement in the comments, and I really do appreciate that. So thank you. Y'all know I'm coming right back with another story time. So until then, we'll meet again for the next Say It With Me story time.